what's up? I'm Kevin from This Wildlife. I'd say the biggest tip for being on the road is to drink like as much water as you can, even when you're not on like a summer festival, but especially on something like Warped Tour. Staying hydrated is super important. Like, we just buy cases of water pretty much every day. They're also great for peeing in because you're drinking so much water, so you don't have to make stops. You can be really quick getting to the next venue. So I drink, like, before a show, I'll probably drink like 5 or 6 bottles of water throughout the day. So that's a big one for me. I'd say the second tip for being out on tour for bands would be just always arriving to venues early. Sometimes you don't know what loading situations are going to be like. Being able to get there early, you can get the better merch locations, so your sales will be better that night. And just being able to get your gear in and be able to relax after everything's in. I know when we show up to a show late and I feel like I'm rushing to get on stage, I feel like I get up to play our first song and I'm just not like mentally prepared to play a show yet because I'm in gear hauling mode and stuff, and I think it's great to get there early, be able to hang out and relax, so we try to do a little bit of driving at night. I'd say a third tip would be for doing night drives. This one I actually heard from the guitarist from Weezer told me this tip, and it was actually made a lot of sense. He always said, what do you always do right after a show? After you pack, everything's packed, the show's over, what do you do? I go, well, we go eat. He goes, exactly. Every band goes and eats after the show. He said, the problem if you're doing the night drive with eating is, if you eat like a big crappy fast food meal, because that's all that's open at that time of night, you're going to feel like crap and be super tired after you eat that. So you're not going to be able to really like knock out like a long night drive by doing that. He goes, if you don't eat at all and you just drink water to stay full during the drive, you'll have to keep peeing and you'll have to keep like driving and you're still going to be hungry. So the hunger pains actually keep you up at the wheel. And he says, be as uncomfortable as possible, seat back straight up. If it's hot outside, be hot. If it's cold outside, be cold, and just be uncomfortable so that you don't fall asleep at the wheel. It's like the most important thing, because yeah, you need to get to the next show on time, but if you're going to fall asleep at the wheel, that you have far more to lose by driving off the side of the road than you do by missing a show out on tour. A big one would be, and it kind of applies to night drives as well, but being able to sleep in your vehicle comfortably. First of all, you save money by not staying in hotels, and if you can be driving while you're sleeping, you're far more effective at getting to the next show on time. We've done tours in this van where we're chasing after a bus, and bus drivers will drive 10 hours driving 80 miles an hour overnight to get to the next venue. In vans, you can't really pull off those kinds of long drives, especially if you're driving yourself and you're playing on tour. So having something that you can sleep in and take shifts while you're going and not have to check into a hotel at midnight and then check out at 4 a.m. in the morning and just catch 4 hours of sleep is really beneficial, because it can help you to catch up to buses that you're chasing after and just get to the next venue on time. I'd say a fifth tip for being like in the van while you're on tour. Most people think like being out on tour is like super exciting all the time. A lot of it is downtime. I always say tour is hurry up and wait, and it's feast or famine. You're either super busy and rushing to do something, or you're sitting around waiting for hours at a time. So for those hours at a time where you're losing your mind with nothing to do in the van, if you could have like a Game Boy or a book or a TV or something that you could just kind of veg out and watch movies, that kind of stuff really helps the time to fly. And I've noticed everybody gets along better when they have something to do. Everybody gets on each other's nerves when they're just bored and sitting around, you know, on long drives or waiting for a venue to open or something. So having something to occupy your time will make sure that people aren't fighting in the van, which is awful, because where do you go?